Hello, my name is Cecil Pittman. We're going to build us a butterbean shelter. That's right, a butterbean shelter. We've got us some materials laid out here. We got 2 sheets of 1/2 inch plyboard. We got us some 12-foot 2x4s. And we got us some 2x2s. Now we're going to build us a box 4x4. We've cut out one end of our 4-foot box, as you see here. Our legs at this point are 4 foot 8 inches long. Now you are looking at what's going to be the inside of the box, and the little strip you see running along here, we'll have some wire nailed to that strip there. That's the purpose of the strip. Why did we cut it at an angle? We could have made it square, could have made it solid, but this makes the box and the machine much lighter when we get through. Here we've made the other side of our box, which is identical to the first side we made. One is the left side, one is the right side. Now we're going to put them together to form a box. Here we've put the back section in, and now we're fixing to run some more 2x2 along the back wall. As you see right there where I've chalked it off, because we're going to have to cover the bottom of this thing with some wire, and we'll get to that later. As you see, the box don't have to be completely square as far as the size. They all don't have to be the same length, and you'll see why as we progress further. Moving along here, you can see how this box is shaping up. As you see, I have put some inclined 2x2s in the middle. Now we can't put the front on until we cover that with some wire, as we get to a little bit later. I'll try to give you a shot of it all the way around. Okay, it's shaping up like a box. As I told you, we were going to build one, a 4x4x4. Alright. Here you see we've almost got the box complete. We're going to put in just a few more 2x4 braces to make it stronger. This will be the front of the machine. This big wide gap here, I'll have a swinging door. As you see, the machine is shaping up. We've got the box shaped up just like we want it. Alright. We have not put in the hardware cloth yet. It's going to go in here. This is inside the box. Okay, I think the next thing we're going to do now is put the wire in. Alright, now we've got all of our braces cut and put in, and got everything nailed up to hold a hardware cloth. Here on the inside you can see where we've got it reinforced, so when we staple this hardware cloth in, it will stay in. This hardware cloth here, we bought it in a roll of 4 foot wide, 10 foot long, with 1/4 inch mesh. Of course we had to trim it, because our machine's about 44 inches wide, and we trimmed it down. Now we're going to go ahead and nail it in. Alright, we've got our hardware cloth nailed in, or stapled in rather. This was put in with a hammer, no staple gun. As you see, the hardware cloth is installed, stapled in real good. Now that we've got the box pretty near complete, next we want to make a basket, a round basket. We have cut us out 2 round wheels from 3/4 inch plywood, and we have cut us some 2x2s, and we want this basket to be exactly 36 inches long when we get through with it. The basket made cylinder, we've not covered it with wire yet. That'll be done later. But bear in mind, this will be covered with 1/2 inch mesh wire instead of the 1/4 as we put in the box. Here you'll see we have mounted a flange bearing on each end of the basket. That's a 3/4 bearing with a 3/4 shaft. There's one on each end of the basket on the outside. We're not ready to install the rod completely, the axle yet. There's some more things we've got to do first. We've got to mount it inside the box here. This is just a little simple 3/4 flange bearing. Next, we want to mount 2 flange bearings on the side of the box, and we determined that we want them about 2 inches away from the wall, away from the back wall, approximately 2 inches away from the back wall, and about 2 inches away from the wire on the bottom. Now the basket is roughly 24 inches across, so we went 14 inches on where we want this bearing to go. It will be mounted here. Here's where it is. That's going to be about 14 inches from the back wall of the box and 14 inches off the bottom of the wire. We get these mounted in, and then we're going to have to stop for a while. I have temporarily put the drive shaft rod and basket axle all the way through. Like this, we can mount the bearings and make sure we get them where they'll line up real good. Now, these bearings go on here like this, and you see we've already got the holes pre-drilled for them. There's one of these on each end of the basket, each one of the box. Okay, I've got the 2 flange bearings mounted on the box, and as you can see, the axle shaft is also mounted, but we left it kind of loose because we're going to pull that back out because we're not quite ready to install the shaft yet, because next we got to put the basket inside here, and this shaft has got to go through the basket, as we showed you earlier where we mounted the flange bearings on the end of the basket. You can see right there. It's going to go on the inside of the box, and the axe will catch that. But first we've got to finish the basket. We've not put the hardware cloth on it, and we've also got to mount a pulley on the end of this basket. It'll be kind of a large pulley because we don't want this basket to turn very fast. Okay, moving back over here to the box. We want to pull this shaft back out and get it out of the way. Next, we want to mount a big pulley on the end of the basket. This will be the pulley we're going to be using. Now, it does not fasten to the shaft. it fastens to the basket. So we've drilled 4 holes in it so we can bolt it to the basket. Okay, we've got the big pulley mounted to the basket. Again, it is not mounted to the shaft. The shaft still can turn inside the pulley. We only got the shaft stuck through there to keep it lined up. Now that we've got the pulley like we want it, the basket's got to have a door. So we're going to make a door to go on this basket, so when we go get our hardware cloth to go around this basket, we can go ahead and cover the door. Well, this is where the beans will go to be shelled. Alright. Here we've cut some pieces of 3/4 plywood. They just happened to come out in a half circle because there's some stuff we had laying around. But we're going to make this thing fit inside here. We're going to cut it to fit inside this door, between these 2 places here. Go right in here to mount it to be the door. So I'm going to go ahead and trace this wheel at the end of the basket onto the plywood. I will trace it right here so to fit inside here when we get through with it. End of the door, rough cut, as you see here, it's going to end up fitting in here and here. So we're going to remark it and cut it off square. Alright, we've got it cut, we've got the end piece cut so it fits in there like we want it. But this is not, that's not the actual piece we're going to use for the end. This is just going to be a pattern piece. That's just part of a pattern. I want to make sure I get this right here and this right here, but that's not as good as I want it, but I was also after the curve. So I'm going to remark it, using that as a pattern, and see if it don't fit better. Here we use this piece for our pattern to get our angles like we wanted it. So now that I've used the pattern, here's the piece we ended up with. Now you see it's notched on one end, so when it's put in, it'll go in like this and fits real good at the other end. Now we're going to see if that'll match the other end of the basket. If it don't, we'll custom make an end just like that, or we might could trace this one and use this pattern. Now we've got both ends cut out. One end goes there. One end goes here. If we've got it like that. Now we're going to nail in some 2x2 and they're like this.